All right. So I've heard of this organization through Dr. T Hassan's Facebook page. If you don't know who Dr. T Hassan Johnson is, he is an Africana gender studies uh, professor in Fresno State University. He mostly focuses on statistics on black boys and men of ADOS descent. And I've run into this page. I ran into this. He posted an article or whatever on this call for men. He called for men of the next generation of manhood, to where you have, by the optics of it, lesbian studs trying to reconstruct black masculinity. This is a video I've never seen before, but let's just take a look at it.
When I was a little kid, I was really good at just being me. But I grew distant from my true feelings. I was shaped by what society expected from me. Holding on to my masculine traits because they were encouraged.
This is the problem that I have with this. What's on my foot? This is the issue I have with this whole of women pushing little boys to say this script of, I was pushed to be a man, I was pushed to have no emotions, I was pushed to be dominant and aggressive. But I'm kind of tired of this narrative, because I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really seeing this as the norm of the boy that was forced to be masculine is like deep down, against it or whatever. I'm just not seeing this shit. I feel like they're trying to compare like black boys being more aggressive in response to their fathers, when I would say it's most likely the opposite. But hey, let me see where they're trying to go with this.
I lost sight of my more sensitive qualities. I became disconnected from myself, and then disconnected from others. I was taught to be in control of everything around me, and that girls were not my equal.
Okay, we can stop this right here. I mean, I'm really tired of this. Like kids in middle school and grade school are running around with red pill talking points. They're not even into that whole equal thing. There is morality that's learned, like, hey, you don't hit a girl and shit like that. But this is kind of getting a little bit comical.
That would have devastating effects on my life and those around me. I responded to stress with anger. I hid my emotions. I felt the need to dominate and control others. All of which was bad for my health. I reject those rigid notions of manhood.
Now, this is the talking point that they've been using. They've created this kind of gibberish, the man box, which is this whole hyper masculine, chip that's ingrained into men's heads, saying that, hey, if you're more aggressive, more controlling, and more domineering, you're more manly than the sensitive kid who's caring, sharing, and nice. those are women traits, and you need to be a man. It's this very cartoonish look on masculinity.
I never use violence. I value women, girls.
Now, if he plays the magic number, I'm gonna lose my shit.
And non-binary.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so what they're doing is that they're using a white kid and trying to kind of framework it to where, by proxy, you see, black women, because they're not, because they know if they try to target black men, they will get a lot of pushback. So using a white face is kind of like a default setting to where it's like it's universally accepted that white men are men, and so they're using black female faces as the backdrop, because this is a black female this is a black female organization under the guise of a black man.
I speak out.
The issue that I have is that they're kind of using this as a kind of like a sly technique of saying, hey, if you're nice and sharing and caring, you will have better relationships with women. And for us educated lames, we know that this isn't the case. We were pretty much raised to be, nice, passive, and caring, and we were the ones who were taken advantage of the most by women, especially black women. So when feminists try to bring this kind of picturing of, you can get a better relationship with a woman if you're less masculine, and it's weird and it's offsetting, because when you go outside and you go to places where there are a lot of women, such as bars on Fridays and the weekends, you're not seeing them with the shy kid or the easygoing kid, and if they are, they're only going with him because he's gay. And that we know, especially in the black community, that what do women want? They've been telling us what they wanted for decades. They told us they wanted men no shorter than 6'1", athletic builds, dudes in the street. And this is what feminists aren't picking up, because they're just trying to tell you that they'll just kind of hodgepodge these little stories of women getting abused by men who are insecure about their masculinity, and then trying to guise it under, well, if you guys were nicer and you guys let it go, your mansplaining, your not mansplaining, but your red pill notions of how women are, you can get better and healthier relationships from women. And it's like, this is the reality of what black men feel, especially educated lames, to where like, hey, we were the nice guys in high school, we were the nice guys in college, and we didn't get the appreciation, we didn't get the whole we got nothing out of it, we didn't even get a date out of it. So trying to tell us that if we rejected the so-called man box, we played along, we would get I'm pretty sure I was going to say submissive, but I'm pretty sure that's not what they want. We'll get healthier relationships. There's no promise, because we've already been told by women, modern women at that hey, they already have a set standard, and being this little timid kid that just kind of is easygoing is a turnoff. And even for educated lames who grew up with people that knew them for a long time, a lot of those females, they don't want us back, no matter how much we've grown or how much money we've made. it's a done deal. It's a wrap. It's like, hey man, I remember you when you was 14 years old, and Johnny made you cry, and everybody was laughing at you. It's like that was 10 years ago. I'm a new man. And they still see the weakness. That's a hard thing to overcome, especially as an educated lane, because black women do not care to know you. They literally do. I've been fighting stereotypes and misconceptions about myself with other women that I've known for decades, for years, and it's like they I just gave up on it because hey, they're not trying to get to know me. If they're still running off of like dumb stereotypes, and I ain't gonna help them. Not my problem.
It's injustice. Healthy manhood makes me happier and healthier. Now I'm more in touch with my emotions. I just feel a whole lot better. I value and respect all people. Healthy manhood prevents problems in my community.
No. Nope. Okay, so let's just say you're a happy-going person, and you reject certain things, like, hey, you don't work out because that's hyper masculine. I don't do, like, I'm not, there's nothing that really raises a flag to say that this kid or this fictitious man is, all he has going for himself is that he's a good person on a moralistic standpoint. When it comes to like everyday issues, this kid is not going to be called upon to stop gun violence because he probably doesn't know how to use a gun, or he doesn't know how to defend himself. Captain Positivity, he's not going to know what to do to stop sexual assault. What is he going to do? What is he going to do when it comes to Keisha getting her ass whooped by her Ray Ray and Pookie's son? I mean, not son, her boyfriend. What's this 5'2" kid? What is this 5'4" kid going to do? I'm not even going to get into that. I mean, again, when you're against people who are bigger than you, what are you going to do? So again, this is really just coddling, and then at the same breath, the same women are going to be complaining when they get older on why they don't have kids and why they're not married. And what's their complaint going to be? Oh, well, these niggas are bitch ass. These niggas they were too nice. They lacked aggression. They were too sensitive. And men are already speaking out that women don't care for their emotions. Women can give less than a fuck about you being suicidal or feeling depressed. They'll just look at you and be like, hey, block my number for me. So this notion that, hey, and this is what's going to be, this is really fuel to create more angry men, because you're going to have educated lames who are thinking, oh, well, hey, if I was nice and I carried myself in a different light that is not stereotypical for my masculinity, dude, you're gonna get run over, and not even just run over by other men, but primarily by women, because they're not gonna respect you. They don't want you to cry on them. You're not gonna have relationships with them. And you're going to be more frustrated to where, how come the shit I was being taught is not an output in my reality? These women are not going to respect you, especially black women.
I can be myself. I can express my version of masculinity. I can create a world where all men and boys are loving and respectful, and all women and girls
But really, the ultimate mission is to create this kind of utopian world, kind of on a time loop. To create this utopian world where it's really where women are protected, whether or not they can find a mate. And so this is kind of like this is pretty much a gender genocide, to where, because these women these women in these organizations are gay, so they don't want to compete with other men, and these women are most likely studs, so they carry a lot of that masculine aggression in them. So this is really coddling you to death. This is a lullaby to death, to where they want men to. And this is not getting a lot. Shit like this doesn't get a lot of traction, but this is their mission: make men weaker, so women can either have to pick and choose between two things: either date other women or die alone. And I've been seeing this on YouTube and TikTok, to where black women or these liberal women of color are claiming that they're tired of black men, they're tired of marching and muling, and that they're on the other side of the fence dating women. And now they're bragging about how, and I'll have a video for that. They're bragging about how dating women is so much better, and they can be themselves, and there's a judgment-free zone. So you guys have to watch out for this catch-22. And we'll break down their website later. I just don't have the time for it today. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? But this is what I want to see.
Your body's only healthy when your hormones are balanced, and that's why so many guys suffer from low T.
I have a daughter 26 years old, right? So Maya went away to school. I'm in New York. We live in New York on Long Island. She went to school in Virginia, the University of Virginia, UVA, right? It's about a 6-hour drive. So God forbid I have to respond to something and get to Maya. It's going to take me 6 hours. Rick, can you imagine taking you 6 hours to get to Emma if she needed you? Can you imagine? Airplane is still time though, right? I gotta get there early. I don't have TSA pre-check. You know what I mean? It's gonna take some time. I'm in the car, so I don't have to. I want to go. We gotta call a friend that's there, and I have to call a man or a woman. All right, I gotta call a man because my concern is about men. So Emma, 9, Maya's 26. So Maya called me and she said, Dad, she talked to her mom and I. As a senior, she was going into her senior year. She didn't want to live in the dorms anymore. She wanted to live off campus in Charlottesville. Now, her mom and I went down to Charlottesville, looked at a place. She was going to live with 2 other seniors at UVA, and they wanted to live off campus. Now, Charlottesville is no more dangerous than any other college town, or safer than any other college town, however you look at it, right? So we go down and look, and it's 6 hours now. It's going to take me 6 hours to get there, right? So I drive down. We drive down, we look at a place, we choose a place, we drive back home, and when I'm on the drive home, Maya called and said, Dad, will you bring me a pair of your old shoes or boots? Why would she want a pair of my old shoes or boots? What do you think, guys? I'm going to ask the men. What do you think, guys? Put them outside the front door. Why would she want to put them outside the front door? To make it seem like a man was there. Why does she need to make it seem like a man is there? To feel safe, to feel less at risk.
Honestly, I never believe any of these stories that these so-called gurus or life coaches, it almost seems too perfect. This is a guy who his mission is to coddle men into submission and make them weaker and nicer and pushovers to women. And he's talking about how nervous he was. And you can kind of see earlier to where he kind of baited he baited one of the members in the audience to say that, hey, if I'm gonna drive, who am I gonna take? I mean, naturally, I would assume that you would just you would either drive by yourself. I mean, 6 hours is kind of a rough drive, but hey, I mean, it's doable on a solo, you know. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's already nighttime, you're not gonna get there until like morning. So you might as well kind of like low key take your time, or just kind of take breaks or interval breaks or something like that. But he baits it to where he says, when the audience member says, I'm gonna just take my best friend, or if I was on there, I would have just said like I would drive myself or bring my wife. Her mother will come together. So he purposely erased the mother in the scenario to make it seem like, even if, because I don't even understand why a best friend would even kind of intervene that quickly. It's not something that just kind of happened. It just happened too fast. Like, a lot of people aren't going to be able to respond that quickly, especially to drive with you 6 hours, and most likely you'll be there all day. I mean, come on, man.
Right? Now, Maya's never been a victim of... Well, I'll tell you about the shoes. Maya's never been a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault. But when she called me, she said, Dad, will you bring me a pair of your shoes or boots? You think I did it? I sure did. Now, I wear size 11. I wanted to go buy a pair of 16s, dip them in mud, blood stains on the toe, chainsaw by the door, you know? Come on. I'm serious. The only reason why I didn't do it, because I didn't want her to think that I was like, insecure about my foot size, you know? But I really wanted to. You know what? Because, listen, I can't, Maya's 6 hours away. I can't protect her. I get upset saying it to you. I can't protect her.
And how do black women want you to protect them with violence? They're not looking for coddling. But hey, I'm going to just let this man tell his story.
Daughter, I have to turn her over to the men in Charlottesville. And she's asking me for some shoes and boots. Now, she's not basing that on experience. She's never...
The story kind of seems kind of fishy, because I'm like, okay, is she in immediate danger to where she can't buy the boots for themselves and just create the mud, make it muddy it up and shit, or get a friend to do it? It seems like a stress. Like, hey, I'm gonna call my dad who's 6 hours away, and I'm telling him to buy this, and I'm like, what's wrong with your friends?
And harm, thank God. She's basing it on the feeling, her sense, her intuition, her way of moving in the world, where she says, this is a dangerous place for me. Even though it's only 15 or 20% of the men who are going to harm her, she has to walk through life as if 100%. So she doesn't put the shoes outside the door 15 to 20% of the time. She puts it out there all the time. So wouldn't it be great, Gary, Rick, when Emma goes away to school or wherever she goes, that she doesn't have to put shoes outside of her door? That's pretty...
This story's made up. You know damn well no black girl is named Emma. Of all things. I would have believed Keisha, Shawanda, Brittany, Megan, Brittany, Courtney, Andrea, Dewana, Dominique. Not no fucking Emma. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna make up a story, at least make it believable, bruh.
That's where we want to get to. And we're not going to get there unless men get involved. All of us. Right? We all have to get involved. We all have to care so that it's a safe place for all women. And women are valued. And not that women need to be rescued, by the way, or saved.
Okay, make up your mind. Because you know the dialogue that black women are talking about, to where they want men to be protecting them and fighting other niggas to the point to kill and spout blood and all that shit. But now you want to double track and be like, not all women are defenseless damsels in distress. I'm just saying I want to make a world where y'all are protected and black men are just cattle farmed pieces of shit that are just made to be cannon fodder for the gynocracy.
Right? Men need to not be violent, and safety just works itself out. Somehow it's a safer world, right? So that's where it's our.
I hate men that do this shit, especially black men, to where their purpose mission is to coddle black men and to make them weaker, so women can feel more dominant. And by making weak men, you'll get women who will claim that they're safer. And this is terrible.
It's a call to men.
And the stupid shit about
become more involved.
And the stupid shit about this is that this is being passed on in colleges, to where, again, educated lames like myself are being bred or being fed this kind of bullshit, to where they want us to think that, okay, well, hey, you know what? All these girls in college are being sexually harassed by the football team, the basketball team, niggas in frats, niggas in the neighborhood. You know what? I'm just a lame. I've never had a girl. You know what? Let me just not talk to anybody. You know what? That's gonna make them feel safe. And you only spread this bullshit. Just look at the people in the audience. Where's the football players? I don't think this is in a college, but I'm just saying, where are those select guys that women go after that are getting these lessons? Who are the members in the audience? You just see a bunch of like suburban dads and little white kids, who don't even look like they can hurt a fly. This is gender genocide. Creating weak men so women can feel better about themselves.